Greetings one and all. Welcome back to my kitchen here today, where I am going to be making myself a glazed ham. Christmas just down the track. It's December here. Yeah, I haven't done any Christmassy sort of recipes yet, so here's the first one. Now I'm going to be doing this sort of retro style. I'm going to be following Margaret Fulton, actually, one of our great early pioneering sort of celebrity cookbook writing ladies here in Australia from the late 60s, the 70s. Sadly passed away a few years ago. Long-term viewers of my channel will remember when she did pass away, I did a tributary recipe. I made her pate from one of her famous cookbooks. Well, this is her recipe for a glazed ham, which I'm going to be doing today. And I haven't tried this before, so I'm sure it'll be good. All her recipes are good. And in actual fact, this recipe is not only in her cookbook. When I was researching it, it's also in the Australian National Archives. It's revered like that much. So let's get on with it. Now I'm only doing a small sort of sized ham here. This one's about 2.5 kgs, and thus, like if you're making a bigger one, you'll just have to adjust the times and that accordingly. Now the first thing I need to do is get this skin off it. So with my sharp knife, and as per usual, I'm going to be using my Glazed Morgan series chef's knife. There'll be a link to that in the description to their website. If you use that link, buy anything off them, I'll get a very, very small commission. But don't worry, I don't make any I haven't made any money off that. It's I just like the knife. Glazed. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is this sort of narrower sort of knuckle end. I'm just going to cut around it. This is where my sharp knife comes in handy, and just through the skin. Now where I cut it there, I'm just going to get my thumb under the skin there and just sort of work it back and forth, because what we want to do is leave the fat on it while removing that skin, as much of the fat as we can. So just take your time. Just work your thumb up. Like I say, leaving as much of that fat there as you can. Up to the top like so, and then I can start going round. Now in a 4-lined baking tray there, I've just got some big chunks of carrot and celery. I'm going to sit my peeled ham on top of that. Now one of the main ingredients for this dish today is some stout beer. I'm using Guinness, but any sort of good stout you can get. Now initially, for this first cook, I'm just going to tip in a good 1.5 cups so of my black beer, my Guinness. And we're going to put the rest aside. We're going to use a bit more of that for our glaze later. But for now, I'm going to preheat the oven to 160 degrees Celsius. I'm going to cover this up reasonably tightly with a couple of bits of foil. Now once my oven's heated up, I'm going to whack this in the oven. I'm going to bake it for about an hour. Now during that hour, probably about 3 or 4 times. I'm going to just pull it out, uncover it, and baste it with some of those juices from the Guinness, the veggies, and what comes out of the meat. Alrighty, I'll get it in the oven shortly, and I'll get back to you in an hour. Alrighty guys, so yeah, I've taken my ham out of the oven there. I'm just going to quickly make my glaze. Now, I'm going to show you how to make the glaze according to Margaret Fulton's recipe. Bear in mind, her recipe was for a much bigger ham than this. I'm still going to show you, I'm still going to make that amount, but I probably won't, oh well, I definitely won't need the whole lot. But it's just to basically show you guys, like when you've got your big full-size family size ham. So in here I've got 250 grams of brown sugar. I've got some ground cardamom. I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of that. Got some mustard powder, 2 teaspoons. And some ground ginger, 2 teaspoons. Give that a little mix up. Probably could have used a bigger bowl. We'll see how we go. Now remember, we saved some of our stout. And we're just going to add 2 or 3 tablespoons, just enough. To be able to dissolve that sugar and spices. Alrighty, happy with that. Alrighty, now again, taking my sharp knife here, I'm going to score my ham with diagonal cuts all over a few centimeters apart, and then also in the opposite direction. And I'm going to take some cloves and just sort of stud them into those diamonds. I'll get on with that and I'll get back to you. Alrighty guys, so I've yes, studded my ham with some of those cloves. Now earlier I emptied out that tray with the celery, the onion, the stout liquid in it. I've got that glaze now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour about half over now, reserve about half of it, and I'm going to glaze it for a few more times while I'm cooking it. I'm going to be cooking it at a higher temperature now. I've upped the oven to about 180 degrees, and we're just going to cook it now for maybe, I don't know, probably not too long, just till, we'll see how it goes, but probably no more than about 3/4 of an hour. I'll let you know. Alright, let's get some of this beautiful looking glaze on there. Just use my brush there just to get anywhere that we sort of missed. We're obviously going to need to watch this really closely because of all that sugar, because it will burn quite easily. Alright, just waiting for my oven to get up to temperature and we'll whack it in. Alrighty guys, so as you saw, I just sliced up a little bit of my glazed ham there, done Margaret Fulton style. Yeah, I'm just having this as a meal now, so I also, I didn't do it on camera, fried up a couple of sunny side up eggs, but of course this whole video is about this ham. Let's just cut a little piece off, check it out. And I'm just going to taste that. Oh man, alrighty guys, that's really yummy. The glaze is just beautiful, it's sweet. It tastes kind of almost like there's chili in it, but there's not. But I think that's the ginger, the powdered ginger. It's kind of baked up into a spicy kind of flavour. Man, it's yummy. Wow. I'm glad I gave it a try. I can see why it's in the National Archives. Yeah, that's it for this video. So thanks everyone for watching. Thanks to all you people who've subscribed to my channel. I really appreciate it. I say it every time because I do really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. If you're new to the channel, this is your first video you're watching, or you've only seen a couple, can I just ask that you hit that subscription button? That'd really help me out no end. There's no cost or obligation or anything like that on your part. It just goes onto the algorithm-y thing on YouTube that helps me. Or if you don't want to do that, maybe just go back, watch some of the old videos. There's a heap on the back catalogue. That'd be great as well. Whatever you do, any sort of action, like, share, subscribe, anything would be appreciated. Thanks guys. I will see you all next time.